anyways, before we begin, if you guys do not have a text editor, you will need one. So if you guys do not have one or do not know what one is, go ahead and check out my previous video on the top 5 text editors out there. There will be an annotation on the top right hand corner of my screen, as well as a link in the description. So go ahead, check that out, download the video, and then come back to this one. So today I'm using the Atom editor. It is my preferred text editor. So before we get started with any coding, we just want to go ahead and make a folder. I'm going to go ahead and make it on my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and call it web page. And I like being really organized with all of my HTML files, so I don't like them being cluttered in one folder, so I create subfolders. So I'm going to create two basic subfolders. I'm going to call it HTML and images. And we can leave it at that for now. So I'm going to go ahead into Atom. I'm going to go to File and Open Folder. And I'm going to go ahead and open my web page folder. Okay, hold on. There we go. So once we have our web page folder open, I'm going to go to my HTML folder, and I'm going to create a new file called index.html. And the reason I'm naming it index is because index is the default name for all HTML5 files. The main page, the home page, all of it by default should be named index.html. Most developers do name it index.html. For example, if you go look at Google, YouTube, Yahoo, and inspect them, I guarantee that the homepage will be called index.html. So let's go ahead and create a bare backbones for a basic HTML folder file. So I'm going to go ahead and explain what each of these do and why they are where they are. So the first thing is a doctype.html, and this actually isn't an HTML tag. You do not need this to actually run your HTML code. If you take this out, your code will run perfectly fine. But the reason that is there is because that is proper syntax for your HTML file. Also, it helps the browser identify that you're coding in HTML. Next, we have our HTML tags. Now, everything that you're going to code for this web page is going to be inside of these tags. There's going to be nothing that you're going to write outside of it. Maybe other than a comment if you do want to remember something or remind yourself of something for the future. But basically everything that you're going to code is going to be inside of here. Next we have our head tags, and our head tags are going to be things that are going to run in the background of our HTML file. The users are not going to directly see anything that is in here. Everything that's in here is going to be run in the background. For example, if you're writing a JavaScript script, if you're linking a CSS file, metadata, everything is not going to be seen by your end user except for what's in the title tag, and I will talk about that in a minute. Now, the meta tag, this specific meta tag is for a character set. It's the default character set for an English HTML5 document. I would just leave that be, not mess with it. Basically, the most common reason meta tags are used are for search engine optimization. So, say I go to Google and I type in YouTube, and I search for YouTube in Google. There are going to be things that you're going to add to your meta tag. For example, a description meta tag, keywords meta tag, and an author meta tag. Those are the three most common ones. Now, whatever you put in the description meta tag is what's going to show up here under your website, so that people can kind of get a grasp of what your website's about, what's on there, the content that is on there. So we're going to go ahead and add a description meta tag, and we're going to add some content into it. So I'm going to write, this is a tutorial web page for HTML5. And we're going to save that. Now, if we go ahead and actually open our HTML5 file, you're going to see that there is actually no visible change to the file. That's because, like I said, everything runs in the background, and you and your user will only actually be able to see it if you upload your HTML5 using an FTP to Google and publish it. Next, we're going to add in a keywords meta tag, and basically the keywords are going to be what people type into Google to search for different things, and if it has the same keyword as something you added into your meta tag, then your website will be one of the options. Like YouTube is one of YouTube's keywords. So I'm gonna add in HTML5 tutorial web page. And say someone typed in any one of these things saying that I uploaded this to the web, then this website would come up as an option because it is one of the keywords for this website. And the last meta tag that we're going to talk about today is going to be the author meta tag. And the author is going to be basically who coded the website. Now it could be one person, it could be multiple people, depending on how this project was seen to the end. So I'm just going to add my name as the author, and again, if we just go ahead and refresh it, there are no visible changes. The last head tag that we're going to talk about today is going to be the title tag. And basically, whatever you put inside the title tag is going to be what shows up on the tab in your web browser. So let's change this to web page. If we save this, go back and reload, you can now see that the tab up there has now changed to web page. So I'm going to change it one more time to web page home. And if we reload our page, we can see it's now web page home. So those are the basic things that you're going to need in your head tag. Now let's move on to your body tag. And the body tag is going to be the bulk of your HTML5 file. It's going to be everything from top to bottom of your web page that your user is going to be able to see and interact with. So I'm going to talk about a few basic tags in HTML that you can add to the body tag, and one of them are the heading tags, and there are actually 6 different heading tags, so ranging from H1 to H6. These go from biggest size to the smallest possible size. We're going to add a welcome on all of them, and you will be able to see once I reload the page the difference in size from H1 to H6. Now you can see that H5 and H6 actually get to be smaller than a normal text would be, and that's why mainly people choose to use heading tags from 1 to 3 and usually never use 4, 5, or 6, but depending on what you're adding onto your website, what type of content it is, you might end up using those tags, but they're not normally used. So I'm gonna get rid of everything else, and I'm gonna change the text to welcome to the home page. Save this and go back. Now I'm going to add paragraphs onto our website using our paragraph tag. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to lorem ipsum, and I'm gonna copy some fake text from them and generate, and I'm gonna copy 2 paragraphs worth of text. I'm gonna paste it in here, and as you can see there are 2 different paragraphs. Let me put this down there and move all the text in. So as you can see, there are 2 different paragraphs, but when I save it and go back to our web page, it all shows up as one big clustered paragraph. And the reason for that is when you put something inside of the paragraph tags, no matter how many spaces you add in between, they're all going to be thought of as one big sentence or one big paragraph, and they're just going to be clustered together. So if you want to visually show that there are 2 different paragraphs, you're going to have to put each paragraph inside of a different paragraph tag. And so once I do that and reload the page, you can see that it is clearly 2 different paragraphs now. And the last tag that I want to show for this tutorial is going to be our image tag. And you can add an image using a img tag. So I'm going to go to Google Images, and I'm going to search for a turtle. a cartoon turtle. And I'm gonna grab this turtle right here. He looks really happy. So I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna go to our web pages and inside the images folder, and I'm gonna call him turtle. So once we have that, I'm gonna go back and inside the source attribute of our image tag, I'm going to navigate to this turtle picture. So what I have to do, since that pictures are in two different folders, first I'm gonna have to navigate out of this file, then out of the folder into the web page directory. And I can do that by adding 2 periods and a backslash. 1 period and a backslash would take it out of the file, but still have it in the HTML folder directory. 2 periods and a backslash takes it out of the file as well as the HTML folder directory and puts it in the web page folder directory. Since the images file is inside of the web pages directory, I'm going to type in images backslash and then I'm going to type in turtle.jpg, and make sure you put in the proper extension or the image itself is not going to render. Say for example, I put in turtle.png and saved it, and I go back to my website and reload it, there is not going to be any visual changes to the website. The image itself will not render. But if I put in the proper extension and reload the page, as you can see, the turtle now shows up on the web page. The last attribute in the images folder that you're going to need to concern yourself with is the alt attribute, or alternate text. And basically this is, you type in here what the image is describing the image. So we're going to type in turtle. And basically the reason for that is first off, once I put that in, there was no visual change to it. But the reason I add that in is for 2 reasons. One, if for some reason your file does not render, where that being you put in the wrong extension, wrong name, wrong directory, or the image itself was just missing, the turtle image, the turtle text would be shown up on the web page. So let me change this back to a PNG extension, and now you can see that the image no longer rendered, but it does say turtle now, describing what the picture would be if it had rendered. Another reason is, even if this picture does properly render because everything is working properly, if someone is using a text reader because they cannot see, they can't, or for some reason for that specific situation they cannot see the screen itself, the text reader would read out loud what is written in the alt. So it would describe the picture because the person cannot see it. So it would say turtle because they cannot see the turtle picture. So guys, that's it for this tutorial. These are some of the basics of HTML. So go ahead and play around with this. Try and make your own small little website. I know it doesn't look pretty good now, but the further we go on in the tutorial, the more we're gonna have, and the more code we're gonna learn to make this look like an actual website. So go ahead, play around with these 3 different tags and try and make your own little makeshift website. So guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Go.